out about now.
All right. The first one on here is Tyler's. You wanted to talk about a LARP event.
Ooh. Yes. Specifically the one that I'm leaving for tomorrow. So I have been, I mean, I guess I could just nerd about LARP in general, but the reason I thought about it is because I'm leaving for one tomorrow. I have been LARPing in general for coming up on 7 or 10 years. It's hard to put it all together at this point because everything blends together. I am part of a group now called Awakening. We are a medieval fantasy style LARP. So basically, the way that I explain it to people that don't grasp the idea of it is it's theater, like stage production theater meets the Renaissance Festival meets Dungeons and Dragons, but all in a Venn diagram that is a perfect circle. Because we dress in weird costumes, we have fake swords, we have makeup and everything that we put together, and we just tell stories, but we're also interacting with those stories. So like for D&D, I'm your dungeon master. I sit here and say, you're sitting in a tavern and a bunch of goblins barge in the door. What do you do? Well, at a LARP event, you are sitting in a tavern and a bunch of people dressed as goblins run through the door, and you better figure out in about 3 seconds what you're going to do. Do you continue eating your food? Do you get up and stab them? Do you throw a magic spell? Do you put a circle around yourself so that you're safe but no one else is? What do you do?
You buy another keg.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you try to persuade the goblins with money is the main answer for a lot of people. But yeah, so it may not show up well video wise, and it definitely won't show up well podcast wise because the people can't see it. Let me
got some pictures or a video?
It's a photo on my phone. That's yeah, you can't see it very well. Let me turn the brightness down.
Is it related to SCA at all?
There are people I know that do SCA.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So that is the character that I play. His name is
Vampire.
Yes. This character has been a vampire coming up on 3 years. The game itself has been played for 5 years. Okay. Say that again.
So the story continues.
The story continues. It is a continuous story from event to event. And what I was saying, this is so far has been a 5 or 6 year game so far. We started a little bit into where lockdown had been lifted, but some of our first few events we still had to wear like mask protection and everything. So yeah, right around late 2000, early 2021. So 4 to 5 years. And yeah, so I am an elf is the race that I play, but specifically he is called a dusk elf, which are elves that within the world have been banished into caves and dark forests. So their skin is more pale. They've got like visible veins around their whatever, of like their face and arms and everything. And then, like I said, specifically a handful of years ago, I was turned into a vampire because I had a quest that I had to go on where we were fighting vampires, but the guy that gave us the quest told us, well, a vampire's not going to attack you if you are one. And I was like, absolutely, sign me up. Yes, I would like that.
So your character started out as not a vampire.
I started out as not a vampire. I started out as just a regular dusk elf.
And you played as a dusk elf for a while?
For about a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay, so I dig that hard because that's a major life change.
Yeah. It was a big shift in my character's storyline.
But really an
and a big-
evolution, right? An evolution, because you hadn't intended for that to happen.
Right. Yeah. Well, yes and no, but I willingly accepted it happening, but I
Sure.
didn't go into that thing.
No,
of
that's what I'm
like,
saying.
oh,
When
yeah,
you
this is-
started that character, you're not going, someday I'm going to be a vampire.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. But then also like magic cards, like these are items that I have in the game. I just carry these
cool.
around on me. But then I have an actual, like, this is a piece of jewelry that has a bunch of like spell protection and stuff in it, but that relates to an actual. If I can grab it without ripping my headphones off of my.
So then are there? I guess there's rules and everything surrounding this too.
Oh yeah. There's a whole rule book online.
Are
Is it
there
on this
any
vest? Yeah, there we go.
dice involved or anything, or how do you
So
determine
this
outcomes?
piece of jewelry is magical in the game.
Okay.
No, it is all live action. Like I said, if the goblins run in the door, you have to get up and fight those goblins. We have magic in the game. We have weapons in the game, but they are foam latex weapons. If you've been to the vendor's mart at DragonCon, there's a place called Frederick's Forge, and they make LARP safe weapons.
Okay.
So it's typically a piece of like very thin PVC pipe surrounded by EVA foam and then coated with like latex rubber.
Okay.
So it's soft on impact. You can't see them because the narrowness of the camera, but like right on the other side of this little door right here are two of my swords that I carry around. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so like I said, it doesn't translate well to podcast, but basically one is a solid black scimitar with a skull at the pommel, and the other is just like a silver short sword.
Nice.
Very nice.
So do you guys play year round, or is it just the once a year, or?
We typically play once a month.
Once a
depending
month?
Depending on campsite availability and whether or not it's going to be god awful hot in the state of Georgia.
Fair enough.
Like, for example, we don't have an event in July of this year, I think, because it's meant to get up to like the hundreds.
What? So?
Yeah. Well, me being a vampire with a full face painted whatever going out into the sun is not going to be good anyway.
I'd love to play, guys, but I can only play at night.
No, legitimately though, funny thing that you say that. I can play during the day, but all of my stats are halved.
Interesting.
So my hit point total, my strength technically would be halved if I had strength on this character, but I don't because I'm not a super heavy like fighter.
Yep.
But yeah, so I do take detriments if I'm outside during the day, but then at the same time they buff and double if it's nightfall. Cool. So
yeah, that's pretty awesome. It sounds like a lot of fun.
It is. There are other LARPs out there. Like I said, we're specifically medieval fantasy, but there are other games that are sci-fi fantasy. There are games that are so like there's Exadune is one that's here in Georgia. It's kind of a steampunk sci-fi style. There's Dystopia Rising, which is a zombie apocalypse style. There's Pantheon that I've played a few times. That's a Greek mythology theme. I was a cult follower of Dionysus, so That was a fun. That was a fun one to play. But yeah, I mean, you can Google LARPs in my area, and I guarantee you something will come up.
Yeah, I have friends up here in the Northeast that LARP, that was so far outside of my comfort zone when I was really actively doing fantasy gaming. I was just like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to do that. But I had lots of friends that did.